Welcome to Chat Smart English. If you've ever struggled with speaking English fluently because your brain keeps translating from your native language, then this video is for you. Do you feel stuck while speaking? Do you find yourself searching for words in English, trying to translate from your first language, and then getting frustrated? You're not alone. This is one of the biggest challenges English learners face. But today, I'm going to share the ultimate trick to stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English. Imagine speaking smoothly, without hesitation, without overthinking, just like native speakers do. So, make sure to watch this video till the end, because I'll give you a step-by-step method to train your brain to think in English. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Chat Smart English, and hit the bell icon so you never miss powerful English learning tips. Let's dive in. Before we learn how to think in English, let's first understand why our brain translates in the first place. When we start learning English, we already have a strong foundation in our native language. So our brain tries to connect new English words with the words we already know. This is why, when we hear or speak English, our brain automatically translates before understanding. But here's the problem. Translation takes time. When you translate every sentence in your head, your speech becomes slow and unnatural. You start feeling nervous, hesitant, and unsure. That's why even if you know a lot of English words, you still struggle to speak fluently. So, the real question is, how do we stop this habit and start thinking directly in English? Well, the answer is simple. You need to train your brain. And in the next part, I'll explain exactly how to do that. Now you might be wondering, how do native speakers think directly in English? The secret lies in how the brain processes language. When we learn a new language, our brain forms neural connections between words, images, and emotions. But in the beginning, these connections are weak, so our brain takes a shortcut. It uses our native language as a reference. That's why we translate. But here's the good news. Our brain is flexible. The more we expose ourselves to English, the stronger these direct English connections become. Over time, English words start linking with real-world experiences instead of translations. This is how children learn languages. They never translate. They just associate words with meanings. So if you want to think in English, you need to break the translation habit and build direct connections with English words. But how do you do that? Don't worry. In the next step, I'll show you the first powerful technique to train your brain. The first and most important step to thinking in English is creating an English environment around you, even inside your mind. Think about it. How did you learn your native language? You heard it everywhere. Your family, friends, and surroundings constantly used it. Your brain was naturally trained to think in that language. Now you need to do the same for English. Even if you live in a non-English speaking country, you can still create an English environment. Here's how. Surround yourself with English daily. Watch English movies, listen to English podcasts, and follow English YouTube channels. Change your phone's language to English. This will force your brain to process English words regularly. Think in English while doing simple tasks. For example, when making coffee, say in your mind, "I am boiling water." Now, I am adding coffee. The more your brain interacts with English naturally, the less it will depend on translation. And this brings us to the next powerful technique, a method that will completely change how you understand English. Stay with me. One of the biggest reasons we translate in our heads is because we try to connect English words with our native language. But there's a better way, the picture method. Instead of translating words, connect them with images and real-life experiences. This is exactly how children learn languages. They don't translate. When they hear the word apple, they don't think of a translation. They imagine a red, juicy fruit. Here's how you can do the same. Look at objects around you and name them in English. If you see a chair, don't think of its translation. Just say chair in your mind. When learning new words, visualize them instead of translating. If you learn the word excited, picture a happy face instead of translating it. Watch videos without subtitles and focus on the images. Your brain will naturally connect words with their meaning, just like native speakers do. By training your brain to use pictures instead of translations, you'll start thinking in English much faster. But what about real conversations? How can you practice thinking in English in daily situations? Let's talk about that next. Now that you've started using the picture method, it's time to take it to the next level. By practicing real-life situations in your mind. Think about this. Before speaking in your native language, do you prepare sentences in your head? No. You just know what to say. The goal is to achieve the same fluency in English. Here's how to do it. Imagine common daily conversations in English. For example, picture yourself ordering coffee. Hi, I'd like a cappuccino, please. Before doing any task, describe it in English in your mind. If you're about to cook, think, I need to chop the vegetables first. Create what-if scenarios. Imagine you're at an airport and someone asks for directions. What would you say? Talk to yourself in English throughout the day. This strengthens your ability to think directly in English, just like a habit. The more you mentally rehearse real-life situations, the faster your brain will stop translating and start thinking naturally in English. Now there's one more powerful technique left, the secret trick that even professional language learners use. Let's dive into it next. One of the most powerful ways to think in English is by having internal dialogues. That is, talking to yourself in English inside your mind. Think about this. Your brain is always thinking. Sometimes you're recalling past conversations, planning your day, or even arguing with yourself. What if you did all of this in English? Here's how to practice internal dialogues. Talk to yourself in English whenever you're alone. If you're walking down the street, think, the weather is nice today. I should get a coffee. Ask yourself questions and answer them. For example, what should I eat for dinner? Maybe I'll make pasta. Recall past conversations, but in English. Think about what you talked about with a friend and try to say it in English. Narrate your emotions in English. If you're happy, say, I feel great today because I finished my work on time. The more you engage in internal English conversations, the more natural it becomes. Over time, your brain will stop depending on translation and will start processing English automatically. Now, let's summarize everything and give you a final push to apply these techniques. So, let's quickly recap what we learned today. If you want to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English, follow these 4 powerful steps. 1. Build an English environment. Surround yourself with English through videos, books, and conversations. 2. Use the picture method. Connect words with images and real experiences, not translations. 3. Practice real-life situations mentally. Imagine daily conversations and describe your actions in English. 4. Train your brain with internal dialogues. Talk to yourself in English, ask questions, and express emotions naturally. Now, here's the key. You have to practice every day. At first, it might feel difficult, but the more you do it, the faster your brain will adapt. Soon, English will become second nature to you. So, here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, try these techniques and share your experience in the comments below. Which step do you think will help you the most? Let me know. And don't forget, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to Chat Smart English, and turn on notifications so you never miss powerful English learning tips. Keep practicing, keep improving, and I'll see you in the next video.